How was your first FSP exam experience?
FSP exam.
Tell us about your KP exam. Everyone is interested in your KP exam experience.
KP course, maybe it depends on the...
What is your take on this thing? Is this process doable? This is the most important question which I get from the YouTube. What about the clinic experience? How are the people there? How is the environment in the clinic? Do the staffs and all that are welcoming? How are the bosses? How is your experience? Hello everyone, this is Dr. Swapnil Chandratre here. In today's video, we have a very special guest. Please, doctor, introduce yourself.
Hello all, I am Vandana and I'm basically from Kerala, India. In 2011, I started my BDS bachelor's degree and completed in 2016, and immediately next year I started doing my PG in periodontics and implantology. It was for 3 years in India, and I got married and migrated to Germany. When I reached Germany, I already finished actually until B1 level of German from India itself. I cleared B1 and B2 from Germany. In 2022 April, I finished until B2 and I applied for FSP exam, and as well as I joined Academy for FSP coaching course. 3 months there was an intensive course. I attended that, and meanwhile state authority was verifying my BDS degree, and it took actually around 6 months to get the results. It got verified successfully. I received date for FSP exam only after 8 to 9 months after application, but it varies with each state. It's not same for everyone. That was my first attempt, and I cleared the exam in March 2023. Immediately I started applying for jobs, and luckily I got within 2 weeks acceptance letter from one clinic, and I joined also. Started my career in May 2023 here in Saxony state. I was working there. Meanwhile, I applied for KP exam also and started preparing for that. Actually, during my FSP preparation time, immediately after FSP course, I joined for KP course also in the same academy. I finished the course before FSP exam itself. I could save some time in between without doing anything. I didn't sit so much time. Then this was my timeline, and of course after applying for KP 6 or 7 months, I received a letter that there is exam starting immediately, and I got one invitation letter to attend the exam. Basically KP exam has 3 parts: written part, viva part and practical part. First of all, we have to attend written part. I cleared it in the first attempt. Again, within 2 or 3 months gap, again they gave second appointment for viva part. That was recently in 2024. That also I could clear in first attempt itself. The third part also I got the appointment. Actually, that was an immediate appointment. I didn't get much time to prepare for practical part, but still I accepted the appointment and tried. Luckily, I cleared that also. Few days back, it went well. Thankfully. Thank God. Yeah.
So first of all, congratulations on clearing all of your exam and finishing all this exam stuff. Okay. You have cleared all of these exams, FSP and KP exam in first attempt. Okay. That's an achievement. People have so much of this kind of fear about the exam. There are so much false information running around that it is very difficult to clear. Passing rate is very less or something. All of these things are running around in the market. I would like to know your exam experience, okay, step by step. How was your first FSP exam experience? What did they ask you? How was the atmosphere? How are the examiners? And please tell us about your FSP exam experience first.
FSP exam. Actually, I was preparing for FSP, of course. That appointment was also was in a short notice. I think 1 week or 4 days only I got, 4 days before only I was informed that exam is happening on so day, and if you are ready you can attempt, because somebody canceled the exam in between and I was on the waiting list, and they just asked me whether I'm okay to accept or not. If not, I can wait until the next exam date or I could accept it. So I tried, but yeah, of course, with full of anxiety and fear. I won't say it's smooth because it's the first dental exam in Germany, of course, we all have fear, anxiety, tension, everything. And it has basically three parts. Again, first one is the conversation between doctor and patient. Second one is the written part. Again, we have to write the report of the case, which we have already discussed with the patient. And in the third part, we have to give one viva. Everything is a 20 minutes. So together it is 1 hour. And so first 20 minutes, we can interview one patient. One of the doctor only will act as a patient. In my exam, there were 2 doctors in the panel, and the one doctor was acting as the patient, and he just introduced himself, and I only asked the complete anamnesis for him. And finally, I concluded with one FADAC diagnosis, means provisional diagnosis for the patient. And they gave me one X-ray also. One OPG was there. I think the diagnosis I forgot now. It was some periapical case or something like that.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's since very long, and
Yeah,
I don't want to read
exactly 1 year before, so I forgot it completely. What was the diagnosis? Yeah, it was some abscess case. Yeah. Then again, in the second part of the exam, we have to write the report. But in first part of the exam, I was a bit confused because they didn't give me that OPG directly. They were waiting for me to ask for the OPG. I didn't ask. I thought in that tension, I forgot to ask the OPG. Without even asking the OPG, I gave that diagnosis. That was a quite disappointing for them, I felt. They said without even asking, how could you come to one conclusion, this is the diagnosis. In second written part, you can actually show your excellence if you are well prepared, because that we are preparing already at home, and the pattern, everything you can easily write if you are well prepared.
Sentence formation and all that.
Yeah, they were quite impressed with my case report. And in third part, it was the viva. They asked me to give a small introduction and my past career informations and all. Then they asked more about perio only to me, as I am post-graduated in perio, and of course about root canal, and that was really basic.
Basic, yeah. In FSP is more about the language part than your knowledge. Yeah. So even though you were not able to do that or diagnosis or something like that based on without that OPG, they did not consider that because they only concentrated on your language.
Yeah, of course. They were not going much in subject knowledge. It was actually done, and they asked me to wait 5 minutes outside. Let us discuss and tell you the results.
It's a difficult part, 5 minutes.
That 5 minutes. Yeah. Then they called me inside again. They told me the results, and then they told, first part you were a bit tense, why you wanted to give one diagnosis without even asking OPG. We were waiting for you to ask the OPG and all. Then I told I was quite tense, that's why. And then they told we were impressed with your case report and viva part, and you cleared the exam. That was the most happiest moment.
That time.
Yeah, that time it was the precious moment.
Yeah.
That day I didn't get any beside or any certificate.
Yeah,
and
get it later on.
Within 1 week they'll send, they said, and they sent me the certificate. And then I had to apply for this Baruf Sarlabni. They provided me with that only after submitting the acceptance letter from my clinic.
Yeah. So it's like a work permit, no? So work permit is only submitted when you show your job, okay? Because it is only limited for 2 years time. If you don't have a job and you apply for this work permit, okay, then your 2 years will be counted from there. Okay, so it's better that when you have a job offer letter, then you apply with that, then you start immediately from the day one.
That was my career start in Germany. Yeah, exactly 1 year before. In May 2023 it was. Then clinic experience is actually so far good. My chefing is very helpful, and she is like very much experienced in this field, and she's basically a prosthodontist. That was actually very helpful for me to prepare for
Okay.
KP exam, because in KP exam practical side and even for
Shriplish part.
yeah, we are doing so much on prostho. We have to prepare much in prostho department.
Yeah.
So it was quite easy, and I got much exposure in prostho department because I haven't this experience before in India. After
It's like learning by doing, no? So when you see all those things in clinic every day or day-to-day basis, then in the exam you are mentally ready. When you see some case, then you know that, okay, in which direction should I go, and which one will work, which option will not work, and all those things. Yeah.
And of course, the prosthetic dentures which we are using in Germany is quite different from what we are using in India.
Yeah.
We are
Also the insurance. And that,
and the insurance system. We have to. I recommend everyone actually after FSP to work in a clinic before giving the KP exam. This is really helpful to get to know about this insurance part as well as prosthetics and other stuff, especially prosthetics are different. That was advantage of being in a clinic.
Tell us about your KP exam. Everyone is interested in your KP exam experience. How did the all three exam went? What was asked in the exam? I understand that not everything you will remember, okay, but at least some of the questions or the case which you got, okay. Just give a brief idea about it.
For KP exam, as I told earlier, I already took one course from Freiburg International Academy. FSP course was really helpful and it was 100% recommendable. And KP course, I don't know, maybe it depends on the doctor which we get as a teacher. It helped me in Shriplish or English part. For practical, of course, it was really helpful, and I got exposure to many crown preparations, and especially partial crown preparation was not familiar to me. Yeah, we didn't study in India, right? That and all was really helpful. Practical part, I can 100% recommend, but the other two parts, the course
you can prepare on your own. That's the best way.
It's for 45 minutes. We have to complete case report writing within that 45 minutes. That is quite challenging. Beforehand, I heard it's very difficult to manage within that time because we have to elaborately write the case report.
Yeah.
As we get informations of a patient on question paper, one answer booklet also they provide. In that, we have to write everything in a systematic manner. That is the main thing, the systematic manner of writing. Diagnosis and treatment plan are really important in the exam. They value the answer sheet according to some points which they are expecting from us. If we manage to write everything what they are expecting, almost I think 80% of the things they are expecting we have to mention in the case report, so that only we can clear the exam. As far as I heard, Shriplish part is the toughest portion of the KP exam, I think, because in my exam set, there were 40 candidates were there, and I heard, I don't know whether it's correct, it's some internal news, only 4 of us cleared the exam, I heard, but I don't.
Sometimes you hear stuff like that, okay, less amount of people are passing in the KP Shriplish style, but it is not based on your knowledge. Okay, so it's not that they have quota that they will pass only like that. It's based on your knowledge. If you have prepared well, if you have written well, okay, then I have seen in one batch 15 people or 15 passed. Okay, so it's never a quota thing for them.
Yeah. That is never there. There's no. In our case, I think the exam pattern has suddenly changed. The pattern which we prepared for the exam, we couldn't manage to write because
it was same for in our exam also. What we have previously prepared is so in every exam it will be little bit changed. Then unexpected, you should be expected. But presence of mind, that is what is important in Shriplish attire.
Yeah. So of course, like if we write in a good manner, like at least I don't know, passing criteria, I don't know, but still, yeah, that varies with each exams and all.
Yeah.
Anyways, the diagnosis was again, I didn't feel it's difficult. It was just one periapical case, periapical abscess case, and we have to diagnose it and write the treatment. And of course, prosthetic part was there. Prosto, endo, perio combination. It was the diagnosis, and the treatment plan also was not very confusing or something. It was totally fine, but I felt that time management is really important.
It's always, that's why I tell everyone to prepare for the exam just like that. It's just, for example, in my case, I written 50 cases, okay, in this time, in 45 minutes time frame, okay. So by that time, my time management was, taken care of, and I could have only concentrated on the exam part. Okay, so that is the best way to prepare for the exam, that you write so many cases, okay, 40, 50 cases you write down, okay, in a time limit. And then, your time limit portion is here recorded. And then, you can just concentrate on the case when the exam comes. That is the part in our hand. Otherwise, whatever the case comes, okay, that is the presence of mind that is, you should be that place at that time.
Of course, the diagnosis is every time, I think it's manageable.
Yeah.
Again, practice is the important thing to manage the time. So after written part of the exam, I had to wait around 4 weeks to get the results.
The most difficult portion.
Yeah. That 5 minutes of FSP and this 4 weeks of Shriplish.
Worst
time. And I was not even expecting that I could clear the exam. So it was completely a surprise for me. And then I was not preparing for English also in between, because I thought I will fail the exam. So suddenly, after 4 weeks, they sent me the result. I started preparing for English, of course. For Viva part, we have to refresh almost all the departments, all the subjects which we studied in BDS. Especially, again, prosto, endo, perio, ortho, pediatrics, and except community dentistry and radiology part, I think everything we have to prepare. But again, I didn't get much time to prepare for English, and so ortho part I was not very much thorough. Anyways,
sometimes for example, for me also, I also didn't prepare too much for the ortho, and they never asked any question. Okay, so
for me also,
much popular. It's not too popular, the ortho thing. You should know the basics things like, this Engels classifications and,
exactly.
Activator, bioneter, and some kind of stuff. Okay, key classification and all that. Otherwise, it's fine. Yeah.
For English exam, it was really important to read all the guidelines, European guidelines. Of treatment protocols. That was really new to me actually, because we don't get all this during BDS or MDS. Of course, in MDS, we used to read from articles and all, but
this periodontal thing and all those, that's a total different thing. I have also done PG in perio, okay, and when I see these things on the perio barlow for this 2 years thing, okay, it's just too much confusing. Okay, so it's totally different.
Yeah, every treatment we can do only according to the insurance system.
Insurance, so that's why.
Step by step, we cannot decide. That was the thing. We have to go through the light linear. And then my exam was again in Dresden. All 3 exams I gave in Dresden. Exam panel was so good. Again, I had anxiety and fear. 1 hour Viva is always challenging, right? And all these subjects, I refreshed in 2 months, maximum 2 months, I think, hardly, 2 months only I got in between. And the panel was, there were 3 doctors. They were, the first one asked me with treatment scenario. One patient came to you with so and so problems, and how you gonna manage this patient, how to they completely to elaborate everything what we gonna do on that patient. I had to discuss, and they were started asking questions from that. And of course, except orthodontics, they touched almost all the subjects. One doctor was asking their own special, maybe they must have done quite a building in those subjects there. So one was asking completely on endo and perio, and one was asking much on surgery part, anesthesia, all anesthetic techniques, drawbacks, and the complications in between. And one lady was asking completely on prosto, total prosthesis. She was slightly helping me. She was to answer the question also. She was like quite supportive. Everyone were supportive, like irrespective of subjects. Like everyone where I felt really a good experience from all my exams. I like in India, I'm not blaming any doctor. Like as far as though, yeah, it's always tricky, and they make us most discomfortable. And it's really very difficult and tense time. But here in these exams, they were so friendly and so
helpful.
That as if they are talking to us as if we are their colleague.
Yeah.
So we feel very comfortable in those sessions, Viva sessions especially. So 1 hour Viva went over easily, I think. I could answer almost 90% of the questions I felt, except a few tricky questions. But they were also not expecting correct. They already told
it's not possible to answer. Impossible.
Yeah. In prior, they told they are not expecting the correct answers, but still, if you know, you can try. Like that, 2-3 questions they asked, and I didn't know it. And it was a really good. Like they explained me the answer.
Yeah.
So it was a new knowledge to me also. So it was good. And again, 5 minutes I had to wait outside, and they told the results. Then again, it was the happiest moment so far.
And regarding this exam, what do you, people have so much of anxiety again that regarding some are experienced, like me and you, that we have done, BDS exams long back. We have forgotten everything. We have to study everything and all that. It was too much in deep. Okay, I always tell them that they don't ask too much in deep. Okay, they just ask you more about the practical stuff. Okay, that's what you told. Okay, anesthetic techniques and all that. These are the things which you are going to do in day-to-day
clinical practice, which are relevant in clinical practice.
Yeah, so they will not ask that what is the mechanism of the Easter bond and amide bond. So that kind of deep, they are not going to ask you. They are just going to ask you the natural stuff that the extraction patient comes with the complication. Then what do you do? Do you also feel like that exam was it's just a little bit superficial knowledge? They don't go too much in deep to make it difficult.
Dry theory, theory, they are not asking much. Maybe that varies with the state. I have heard some other states they are going much deep with this theoretical part more than.
But in that case, sometimes examiners also.
Yeah. In my case, one of my examiners was done some Weiterbildung clinical something exactly like whatever we need for clinical management.
Okay.
So he was completely asking those kind of questions.
Yeah. So you get your examiners, okay? You get your examiner list before maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks, okay? And you do a study background, what that examiner studied, what is or her preference and all those things, okay? And you can read their series. Okay, and based on that, you can, prepare smartly also.
Exactly. Yeah, that was there for, especially for this Munich part, can do that. And you can check their background and prepare accordingly.
Yeah.
That was the third part, final part of the exam was the practical thing, which is the easiest part.
All
3. Yeah, of course, as I have done one course, I was a bit confident with all these ground preparations and all fillings, whatever we are going to do in the exam.
Yeah, so we rent this model and we do it at home or at our clinic and all that, practice it there, and you just need to perform there.
Yeah. Even I did the same. You can rent the phantom head and do it, practice at home. Again, the task is that we have to finish so many exercises in 5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. I think 7 tasks are there, right? Yeah, it's small Viva also, but manageable. Yeah, small Viva was there on surgery and perio instrument recognition basically, and what is the use of the instrument, some procedure ablauf, how to do the extraction and operative Sanentfernung and perio surgical, especially curettes they were kept, and they asked more about the curettes and the parts of the curette, how to use it. And it was there for 10 minutes. In between, they call you for that. Out of that, you are preparing this ceramic crown preparations, partial crown impression taking, composite filling, MODs, class 3 or class 4, Wursal canal behandlung.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it you have to do. And the exercise they were only taking for us. Maybe in some other states, we have to take our own. I don't know. The results were given on next day only.
We got the same day. Yeah, in your case, one more day of stress.
Yeah, my partner was on vacation. So he had to call and ask for next day.
What is your take on this thing? Is this process doable? Because this is the most important question which I get from the YouTube. That, sir, can we crack the exam? Is it actually doable? Because, people have so many colleagues in Canada and Australia and US, and, they are there for, 5-10 years and still struggling. Okay, so they are a little bit skeptical about when I say that you can finish all the process in 2 years. For them, it's at least a little bit confusing. So what is your take from these exams? Is it doable, or is it so much tough, or is it impossible? What do you think?
It is, of course, doable, I say, because I am not an extraordinary student or anything like that. I'm just an average, maybe just above average when I assess myself. Of course, it is doable. I don't know whether it's always possible to clear the exam in first attempt, but of course, we have 3 attempts in KPE exam. So in first or second, of course, you can clear, I feel.
Yeah.
It's not so difficult. According to me, I felt some difficulty in point of learning German only. Of course, first 1 year when we are preparing for Allgemein Deutsch, up to B2, of course, we struggle a lot because it's completely a new language to us, and it was quite challenging. And but once when we come to this dental part of that German, I felt it somewhat easy because many of the words are similar to English. So we can manage, and we already have this subject knowledge. We can somehow manage to clear the exam. And the one major thing I have to tell you all, I am not very, very fluent in German, or still I have difficulty. But in exams, they are not much concentrating on your German grammar or something like that. They are still writing.
FSP definitely, but
FSP, of course, they are trying to concentrate much on Deutsch, but in KP, they are focusing much on subject
knowledge. Yeah.
But of course, by time you will get that
used to it.
When you are interacting with patients and working in clinic and in community, you will get that fluency. And but still, I feel subject knowledge matters, and that will help you in your journey.
What about the clinic experience? How are the people there? Okay, how is the environment in the clinic? And do the staffs and all that are welcoming? And the bosses, how are the bosses? How is your experience?
First of all, in practice, my colleagues, my chefin, of course, they were very supportive. To get a job, it was not a big task for me after clearing this FSP. Of course, with Baruch Sir Leibniz, it's not easy to get a job like with an approbation, complete approbation, because everyone asks for complete approbation to start the career. Like, but still, you can manage to get one job after FSP itself. Of course, in clinic, they were very supportive and kind. Even from patient side, surprisingly, they are accepting us. They don't, like, rarely one or two patients show some difficulty. They don't accept us just because of maybe they are aged, very old school German ladies, or I mean, old people. Mostly 99% patients are accepting us. And in clinic, they allowed me to do perio treatments, also perio stuff, since I'm done this PG. That is totally depends on your boss. After FSP, you are working under supervision of different dentist. So of course, you have to show after doing the treatment whether it's okay. Approval. This approval is very important. But sometimes if they are started believing us completely, they don't. That is
to clinic, no, because in the beginning they don't know who you are, who we are. Okay, in CV you can write 100 things, okay, but what you can do on patients, that is another story. Okay, so they will in the beginning check. In my case also, they my boss checked in the beginning, 4 or 5 feelings or something like that, RCT 1 or 2, and after that, they know that this guy can do everything individual and independent. It depends on the clinic to clinic also. And it is normal for them because they are responsible for us. Anything happens, then, we can do like that. But for everything comes on their head. So, yeah, that is understandable. Thank you very much, Dr. Vanna, for your precious time. For your future, best of luck. And we keep hearing good things about you. And hopefully, you have a good time also. And thank you very much.
Thank you so much for inviting me for this session also, and you also helped me throughout my journey, because we did the exam in the same state, and I didn't have much Indians in this state to ask the doubts and guidance and all. So I was contacting Swapnil from last 2 years, I think. And thank you so much for everything.
Yeah, it's fine.
And
okay. Yeah, thank you very much. If you guys have more doubts, then you can always contact me. The link is in the description box. Until then, have a nice day.